All right. It's been 5 days now, and I'm on a streak, not missing any recordings. It's good. There was one time where I didn't record the entire thing, so I had to make a whole recap of the entire lesson. All right. So regardless of Team A or Team B, do you guys have any questions from your practice yesterday? We can go over some of those, doubts or confusion, and then we can move to more practice today. Today, primarily, we're just gonna go over chart examples over examples, and then next Monday we're gonna dive into layering things with something else. Yeah, Ian, you raised your hand.
Yes, I received. I seen again the recording from yesterday, and one sentence is in my intention. A detailed view. You say detailed view is healthy, normal, or unhealthy. Well, which is the differences between? Okay, I understand healthy and normal, but what difference between healthy and normal? What means?
Okay, so let's say we are fading a pullback, right? Fading a pullback. Let's say overall view, you know what it means, right? The overall volume, basically, where are the high volume peaks at? Is it at the bottom or here, that kind of thing. So in this case, the overall view is just saying this uptrend has power because we have initiation from the bottom. But at the same time, it's not so healthy also because it has high volume at the top. So I'm not sure what it's gonna do. Okay, so that's where it's normal, not really healthy or unhealthy. So in, let's say here, the detailed view, the whole goal is to make sure the detail view doesn't really have high volume from the bottom. Because if, let's say, we are trying to sell something like that, let's say if there's a new guy here, like that, even if we kill him, we still have volume right ahead. So the understanding on the detail view is just to know, okay, the last piece here, last swing, let me just redraw this. This last piece here, where's the high volume at? Just to know on a miniature scale, this uptrend, this one swing uptrend, is it healthy or not? That's the whole reason why we look at the detail view.
Yes, I understand. So depending on the volume, if it is at the beginning of the leg or it is healthy. If it is in the middle, it's normal. If it is at the end, it's in danger or something like this, unhealthy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. So the advantage we have on this kind of looking at the detail view is something like that. So if I expand this out, now pretend we are on the 5, okay? We're gonna talk more about 5 next week. But pretend this is the 60-minute, a few swings going up, a few candles going up, and the detail view is this piece, all right? Okay, so if this detail view is unhealthy, where the high volume is right at the end of the last piece here, this piece here. So if on the 5 you have something like that, super high volume here, right? Then this could be a trade where we take an entry to sell. So if the detail view is showing this last swing uptrend, which is this 2 swings up, is showing that it's unhealthy. But if the high volume is in the middle, then we have to take out the entire thing get volume to transfer over, get our kill also, the kill of the last guy who started, then get a release from there. And if the volume is all the way down there, even if we get a kill, can we sell? Ian, what do you think? If volume...
If we do not have a kill, but we have a high volume on the top, we can sell with a good chance to take the guy who started it.
Yeah, but if this is low volume, this is low volume, but this is your last...
In this case, not, because we have a high volume, a wall in front of us.
Yeah, right here, right? So in this case, even though we taken out the guy who started here, we still do not really want to take the sell, because these guys are right ahead of us, which could be these guys.
Understood.
So the last piece, the detailed view, is giving us a heads up on how early we can get our entry, basically. Yeah, makes sense.
The volume is the key, the position of the volume.
Yeah, position of the volume, because our whole goal is to have volume behind us.
Another question came to me regarding the volume. The volume differs from broker to broker. So how will do the analysis? I'll use the FXCM on TradingView and enter on my broker, or should I analyze the volume on my broker? I don't know if it is the broker is okay, or a market maker.
Generally speaking, it wouldn't differ that much. Just use whatever is on TradingView. The volume there should be accurate enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nearly the same.
Yeah, usually it's more or less the same.
Yeah, but what I noticed on FXCM, looking on ones with Navin on Elite, if I look back on the charts on FXCM, I could see differences in volumes on the same chart, on the same time, but looking back, I'm looking after a long time, yeah. So I was a little bit confused about it.
Generally, if this is FXCM, this is Oanda.
So we can check on multiple brokers, let's say.
You wouldn't see too much different. It would still be maybe a little bit higher like that, but the difference is quite small. Or maybe there could be just one spike like that. So all you want to see is the overall story, not to get too rigid of the volume, but piecing the story together. If the difference is huge, you can show me then, because I can't really see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can come with examples. I'll send you an email or something like this, and we can discuss here about it. I noticed this when I wanted to simulate back what Navin did with other guys on one-on-ones.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, just post your question in the practice place.
Okay.
Yeah. Simaya and Eric. Eric, you raised your hand first, so let's go ahead with your question.
Yeah, when I was doing the analysis yesterday, I found I've got volume like all the way from the bottom to the top. The overall, basically, I've got volume almost at. Let me get my annotation. I got my volume there. I got my volume somewhere there. And even my analysis said that it has got little range and then go up. So I've got volume there. I've got volume somewhere there, and there, and then there. So in this case, the overall trend, is it still healthy?
Yeah, because every time there's volume here at this spot, you would think, okay, it has made a few swings up. We have high volume.
Yeah.
Who's still buying up there? I'm not sure.
Right.
It's still resolved up, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Still healthy. Here, it's pretty high now, and there's still volume. Who's still buying up there? I don't know, but if they are trapped, maybe we can resume this downtrend.
Right.
Otherwise, it's still a healthy uptrend.
Okay. I see. Yeah. Okay. Another question is, I use the same volume indicator as you used. So in that volume indicator, sometimes it has got this like spikes, right? And sometimes, let's say we have like relatively high. Then sometimes it has got this little one, and then there's sometimes this little one, but it's not really that high, but it has got different color. It has got green color. So would we consider that as a high volume that we should mark on the chart?
This kind of scenario usually happens when we are in the Asia hours.
Yeah. Sometimes yes. Yeah.
And then here it's maybe like Tokyo Open, something like that. So, So one small spike. So generally, these are not really high volumes we want to trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And also, I was watching one of the comment video you gave to I think to Casey. Is that still the same volume indicator? But sometimes you have this shape, right? And you have similar kind of like shape. You got a spike there, and then in this kind of scenario, sometimes you got different color, right? So green, red, or orange. But in this kind of scenario, it's just like gray, which means it has got relatively high volume, but it's not higher than normal. So in this case, do we still mark this thing in the chart?
And then the way to trust this is to understand if this is around market open hours. If this is around market open hours, whatever color it is, it doesn't really matter that much as long as it's high. Yeah,
then it is significant. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So market hours play a big role also.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yep, Maya.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention the volume indicator also got a period on it. So if you compare the volumes with somebody else, even on the same broker, it might differ because your period is set differently.
Okay. Yep. It might be some slight difference as well, but as long as it's relatively higher, say this volume here, as long as it's relatively higher than what you see on the left, then it's fine. It doesn't have to be exact or too precise, just relatively higher.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, if our period is set differently on the volume indicator, our volumes won't display the same.
Yeah.
So what do you set your period as default on your charts?
All right, let me show you. I think mine is 2032. Why this number, I am unsure. I haven't backtested why this number is good. It's just the number one of the guys in the prop used, and Navin was saying it was fine. So 32. Let me show you guys. See kind of differences we have. Let's see the period here. This is 20. So around 20 to 30 is fine. But generally speaking, even if this is 32, the average volume bar, this is 20. You see where the high volume is, it's more or less the same kind of area. Around here, the same bar, which is the highest one here. Right here, also the same area, which is the highest one there.
Yeah, I think this one is not caused by, probably is not caused by the period, it's caused by different provider. The upper chart is FXCM, and the other one is the lower one is OANDA.
Yeah. I'm trying to show on OANDA, it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference.
No.
Yeah. So different broker, different period for the indicator is more or less the same thing. Where's this part here? Yeah, see here. But if you guys do see anything, too confusing or where things are, the volume just seems weird, just let me know. I'll have a look. Does that answer your question, Maya? It doesn't have to be too precise.
No, it does. I think it's just pointing out you might look at somebody else's chart, even the same broker, but your volumes differ, then it might be the periods. So you won't see a spike where the other person sees a spike.
Yeah. Do you have an example of that?
No, I don't know. Somebody else just said that they were comparing the charts and their volumes didn't match up, even though it was the same broker and time frame.
Okay.
So I was just pointing out might be your period that's set differently than the other person's.
Yeah, that could make a small difference, but it shouldn't be a huge difference because in general, we are still piecing our analysis together with price action. So the volume is just another piece of the puzzle we're using. As long as what you see is relatively higher like that, then it's fine. So here, you have high volume peak here, which other brokers may not have, but you do see high volume here, which is around the same area, then it doesn't really make much difference. That's what I'm trying to say. So stuff like that. Yep. Okay, any other questions? All right. So today let's go over more trade, not trade examples. I'll show you guys a few trade examples. For now, let's do more practice round until everything starts to stick. So let's go back to, you guys have any pairs you guys want me to look at? When you guys were doing your practices or back testing? Team B?
I did on Aussie Japanese yen.
Okay.
But I don't know
Where it is.
the period. Yeah.
All right.
I was trying to look for a trend, but it was difficult.
Okay. Let's have a look. Let's start by doing the most simplistic one. Team B, start with the other one. It's overall downtrend from here to here. How does the overall view of the volume looks like to you? Each piece along the way.
Start from here, right?
Yep.
And there is a huge volume around here.
Around there, yep.
And another one here.
Around there. Okay. So at this stage, how's the downtrend looking?
Not so good. I think here it's still good. Here it's not so good.
Yeah, because most volumes are starting to come in at the bottom, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So moving on.
Okay. And Here is another huge volume.
Okay.
And here,
Okay, so this part, you want to mark the high volume where it started from. So red candle, generally, I'll just put it at the top.
okay.
All right, and then here.
Mhm.
So how does the downtrend looks now?
I think still not so good.
Not good, right?
Yeah, not good.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on.
Okay, so another volume right here.
It's a little bit at the top, all right?
Yeah, and yeah, I think.
Okay, so here, these are the areas where you really gotta ask. We have been going down for a few legs now. We have super high volume at the bottom. Who is still trying to sell so much in this kind of vicinity? Because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, not going anywhere.
Yep. And then the next one,
The next one is here.
here, here, and here. Yeah, all these areas.
Mhm.
Okay, so no volume from where it began from. Most volume began to start coming in around the middle and towards the end. So this downtrend,
It's not so good. Huh?
it's not so good anymore. This is going to be important for us, especially when, for whatever case, if we are trying to look for a release from this, range, trying to sell a release. That would be extremely risky because the downtrend is under danger. All right. So that's the overall view. Detail view, what can you tell me about the detail view of this last piece down?
This one,
Yep.
the volume is here,
Mhm.
and
Here and here
yeah,
and here. All right.
and
So it's all this zone here. So there's not too much you can say about this last piece. What you can only say is this downtrend is dying out.
yeah, that's right.
All right. So let's move on. Now we have to piece this always together with technical analysis. So we resolve down from this sort of like a range thing. Okay. So here, is it a valid sell just based on where a release should happen? This piece here.
This piece. This one is the last, right?
Yep.
So you need to kill the last guy. It's supposed to be like this.
Yep. That would be taking out the seller and then retest for release, right?
Yeah.
But before that, because this is also a huge range, like that, would it be logical for us to think, okay, maybe bottom of the range, we might see some kind of a release?
I'm not sure about that.
Huge range, right?
Oh yeah, here's the.
So once we break through,
Mm-hmm.
people are bound to be stuck. People who are buying from the bottom here, here. So they would try to release.
Around here, right?
Yeah, around this green line here, this zone here. They would try and release. But now because there's volume is saying this downtrend is in danger, you don't really want to sell it, but people would sell it. If, let's say, they get trapped like that, then this would be a very ideal buy for you. All right. Now, when you buy this, just note that all of its volume got transferred over. Yeah. See that this piece, if we are just looking at this buyer from here to here, the volume isn't looking that high.
Right.
But remember yesterday when I was talking about try to imagine having a different volume bar there where when the volume transfer, when the guy who started got taken out, this all of this guy has this volume.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you have volume behind you. On the,
Okay. Yes. That makes sense.
yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, Eric, you had a question, I think.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to put my hand down. No, I don't have any questions.
Oh, okay. No worries. All right. So where this piece comes into important for us, especially would especially be on our trading time frame on the 5 minute, because we are always fading a pullback. Imagine this as a 5 minute time frame pulling back, right? Say we are coming from a bigger uptrend and we know this zone could be an area for us to look for a release. Okay, so this area here needs to be identified on the 60 minute to know where a release could happen. Once we get that out of the way, we do the exact same thing on the 5 minute, fading the downtrend. So exact same thing, fading the downtrend, marking out the guy who started, in this case here, here, overall range, and then this breaks towards the downside. Right, then after that, we gotta think, we have a huge range ahead. They're not really gonna let us through. Okay, but then again, in this sequence of pullback, most volumes are coming in at the bottom. It doesn't really look that good for them. All right, so on the 5 minute, we do the exact same thing, right? Taking out the last guy who started, and then generally look for a retest to resume the uptrend. That's how a trend pullback trade setup generally is. Okay, we're gonna go into some setups later. All right, let's have a look here now. Laila, I'm gonna try and go ahead and read the overall view of this uptrend.
Yeah, here's the last guy. Oh, okay, I'm gonna annotate. This is, we have volume in this downtrend, and it's taken here, this last guy. So as you said, and I'm not seeing any volume until this. I don't know if it's here or if it's here.
I don't see your annotation.
Here.
Okay.
I'm seeing this green bar here.
All right.
I think it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So this is the last guy from the buyer. And now if the seller, if we are in an uptrend, this little uptrend. So we have this last buyer, and now we don't see any volume. So no volume. Here we have a volume. Yes, that one, yes. Then it's going to be here. A little, it's a little less than when it started here.
Okay.
So this is still the buyer, I would say. And then no killing, no killing. Here we have, this is where it tried to go up. Here we have this last buyer that tried from here, that belongs to this one. It went down, still no volume at all.
When you're referring to this and that, you gotta annotate it so we know which area you're talking about.
Sorry, okay. I have, this is a first try. Oh my God, just a minute.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. I have this last buyer anyway. I have a buyer here with the volume.
Yeah.
And here on top, no volume. So that's good. So we could say that when we come to a point where we can take our buys, it's still fine. So when we come to this point where this could be a point where we can launch our buy, the seller comes here with no volume, still no volume. Okay, you mean this one or this one? A little bit volume, but it's nothing compared to the buyer. Still nothing happens. And then we go on. Here we have this last seller. There. Fights with the buyer. The buyer takes it out to this main seller here. This seller tries, nothing happens. So it comes to this, just a minute, I would think, to this trap, and it launches. I don't know this green one. I don't know which one. It must be this one. So you could take the buy from here.
Okay, hold on. So in this case, all you want to do for now, just for now, is just to mark out how the uptrend is looking. So this uptrend from this spot to this spot, right? No more higher highs after that, right? No more higher highs after that. Most volumes are coming in at the top. So the area you mark here, the area you mark here, the area you sort of mark here, and then we have some volume here. So just based on this uptrend, how healthy it is, do you think?
Oh, no, it's not healthy because I'm seeing that this, I'm seeing here, it wasn't up here, it wasn't any problem still, but then I'm seeing that I have a big volume here. So, and it's bigger than this one. So I would say now it's threatening. So if if I go to details, I'm going to take a buy. So I shouldn't go more than this.
Okay.
Target there, and then that's it. Because of this, because this could be that, building up or whatever.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So uptrend is not so healthy yet. We're gonna get into entries later, but for now, uptrend is not so healthy. All we need to ask ourselves is volume are still coming in. Volume are still coming in. If this is extended, why are people still buying?
Yeah,
right?
and then you see all this big range. If you compare to the uptrend, it is a big range. So that's also an indicator that it might go down.
Yeah, it might go down.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have high volume here, and then what happens after that?
Then we have this high volume, and it pushes up from the range, and this was the last guy that. No, this was maybe the last guy that tried. So from here we have this buyer that made it up, and then here we have volume there, and so it's less than the green one here, but it's still volume up there. So this, I wouldn't take the sell here either, because the volume is less, but I'm seeing that the push is strong, so I wouldn't do anything. Then it comes to here where the buyer tries. I think that this one is there. So
Yes.
Here where I see buyers try and fail.
Yep.
And
so at this stage, even if we do not have this volume, because this is around dead hours, I just saw it just now. Even if we do not have this is still higher than usual, right?
Yes.
So which is this part. So all in all, this uptrend seems to be under a lot of pressure to keep going up. It seems like there is some danger. So that's all you need to know about how you gauge overall volume, right? Where exactly we get in, I'm gonna get into that shortly.
Okay.
Okay, and then the next thing overall volume is this piece. Detail volume is the last swing. So last few swings, or even the last swing here. Here, even in this case, the last swing, you have volume here, you have volume up there. So it's still fairly normal, but I'm a little bit doubtful about this volume because it's at dead hours. So that's where sometimes I'll check to see if it's actually something to look out for.
What does it mean? What does it mean though? Because here they are, it's dead hours, so this is not big players. Why is it there?
Yeah, this is the time where I usually look at my broker to see if there's actually volume here, because during dead hours, any little movement may cause high volume. Yeah, because not too many people are trading. So if there's more transaction than usual, then a high volume bar would come in.
Okay.
You know, as compared to when the sessions are open, there's a lot of transaction going on, and then there's a high volume. Then that high volume you can trust a little bit more. But when usually if it's dead hours, then there's one spike in high volume. Then we're not too sure if there's actually a lot of people buying or selling around those zones.
It's just high volume compared to what's happening. There is nothing, and this is still nothing. But if, as you said, if it was in open market hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just change my time zone to London. Okay. It's around 7 p.m.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get into a few more stuff about this particular setup. But Eric, you had a question?
Yes, a quick one. I think it's the same question I was asking before you. So if we would look at those two spikes, those two volumes, at the moment it's gray. I know in this case it doesn't matter anyway because we are in this range. So we had volume over there. But if it's in a downtrend or uptrend, if we have this, do we really mark this? It's gray, but we can see that obviously it should be some sort of market open or active hours.
I would say it's just normal. I wouldn't say it's too high.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
So normal means we don't really need to mark this if we see other like different color high volumes or elsewhere we probably mark the other areas, but not those two.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Casey, yep, go ahead.
I have a. Oh, okay.
Sorry. Casey has his hand raised first.
Thanks, Lucas. Yeah, I guess my question is, we have. It's not working out for me.
It's Friday.
Okay. Yeah. We have. I got it. So we have all this high volume at the range, right? That's kind of where we call the high volume at the top of this uptrend. That being said, if we have it almost, if we're looking at the hourly, we have these spikes near the tops of this whole trend. Even these, they're just still relatively, but it shows that there's a lot of volume at the top of this. So on the hourly, unless we see just no high spikes at all, if there's a range at the top of a general uptrend, we almost can think and just go ahead and say, hey, this trend's probably not too healthy. So if it does break to the upside, where if we leave a trap in this huge overall range, And we would wonder who's buying up here and not really want to buy again with them. Correct? Is that the logic we're going with? Because of this overall uptrend is looking unhealthy because of who's buying so high. Am I following that right?
I think you can think of it that way. It's fine. Yeah, if it's really high up, I don't think this is high enough. But if it's really high up, then you see a huge range. Obviously, if it's a huge range, there's gonna be multiple sessions inside, right? If it's a huge range.
Exactly.
With that said, there obviously is gonna be volumes for each session, so a lot of volume here. So then this uptrend, does have high volume at the top.
So to me, the best scenario, if we do kind of see that, I'm not just going off pattern, but like it would be a better scenario would be if we're at the top of a long uptrend and there's high volume or maybe a range. The best scenario we would like to see would be a break to this downside and then a test of that trap. Kind of, well, I guess if this ranged here for a little bit and then broke, that would be a more logical scenario. Is that
Yeah. It'll be a much more logical scenario. This piece here trying to fade, if we're trying to fade a huge uptrend, trying to do this part, there are a few elements which we're gonna get into next week. Because sometimes if the range is not long enough, say like that, fading this could be risky because this could be sort of like a refresh, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But if it's long enough, sometimes it's possible for us to do the sells easier. So
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. Again, right now the easiest way to know what's safe is just to follow the overall trend.
Overall trend, got you. Always, the trend is your friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right. Jay?
I meant to ask this in the beginning, but I was having like technical issues.
Okay.
So it basically has to do with the state of the market versus volume. Because I was looking at CAD yen, and the market looks like it's like transitioning into either a range or a channel. But there was a nice buy setup in terms of the volume, so I didn't know which held more importance: the state of the market or the volume.
Okay, we'll go to CAD yen later on.
Okay.
Williams.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. So if we follow like technical analysis, this will have been after this range break. This will have been the best area to buy, to continue to buy, right?
Yes.
So, but I know this one looks funny, so you just have to find out why this one is there to determine if the buy is going to work or not.
So in this case, right, even if there's no volume here,
we still have the transfer.
It's not really transfer per se. It's just the fact that it's a huge range, so there's a lot of volume. When we break up, volume means someone was trying to sell from before or buy. They are trapped, so they're gonna release anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's only here when it starts to do another huge pullback. Then you gotta ask yourself, okay, now I have high volume again at the top. Then don't really want to buy from this zone.
Thank you.
Yep. Ian?
When we see this high volume on a dead market regarding the hours, can it be coming from a news?
Yeah, it can. It can be coming from a news.
Because what time is it in UTC?
7 p.m. 7 p.m. London time.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
In America, USA, could be a news.
Yeah, it could
at that
be.
time.
Yeah,
Frankfurt.
Or a speech or something like this. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so right now let's just pretend. Okay, no need to pretend anything. All I wanna ask is, going back to Lila, this uptrend.
Yeah.
Our whole job on the 5 minute when we are trading is to, at least the safest way. Okay, the safest way is to see where the trend sort of transition. So in this case, you will mark, this is your guy who started, right?
Yeah.
Your buyers are from here, sells. Now, the question I want to ask is, are these actually sellers coming in?
This is still the buyer there.
Still this guy?
Yes.
So is this a trap per se?
This is a trap for this one, but because no buyer is killed here, so it doesn't. Well, yeah, it should be a trap because it's in a range now, I would say.
Okay.
For this guy.
Okay. Yeah, if you say it's a range, that's why it could be a trap. I guess so. But
This main buyer, no.
Yeah, if we are overall just fading an uptrend, then no, you wouldn't say it's a trap because it's, like what you said, still in buyer's territory. We didn't really kill anyone, but still in this high. All right. So, yep, go ahead.
But when it's such a big range compared to the uptrend, I'm thinking that, okay, the buyer tried so many times here, and maybe that could trigger the seller to think, okay, the buyer have tried, nothing is happening, it's my turn, I'm gonna try also from the upper side of the range.
Yeah.
There, I can take it down.
Yeah, that's where things get a little bit messy because buyers have tried many times and sells are still coming in. So when you actually wait for a pullback towards this area here to sell, then you still have to ask yourself, hold on, wait, we actually came back up. Is this guy actually still in control? Because this last swing hasn't been taken out yet. So it's a lot of confusion in this kind of situation, especially in a range, right? We wouldn't know if it's gonna probe and go back down.
No.
Yeah. I just want to point this out because earlier you were saying stuff like, oh, we have a sell coming in, sell coming in. So all this, try not to look into it too much because the main guy is still intact.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, after a while, like after here, maybe here, you wouldn't do anything, not buy, not sell until it resolves upside or down.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Okay, it's good. So we resolve up, right? Still going with the question of when can we time the trend changing from up to bottom? So, Dennis, when we resolve up, where's your last guy who started? Okay. Yep. After that. Are you able to speak? Oh, your audio is really low. What you want to do is go to there's a green bar, okay, on Zoom, on your screen. It's either on the top or on the bottom. And then you will see the mic indicator. Click the arrow and then click audio settings. There you can adjust your audio output.
It's on the mute.
Yeah. So try doing that. We'll come back to you later.
Lucas, on my screen, I know I messed with audio, had to mess with it on mine. It's like on my screen, it shows a little check mark at the very top left-hand corner with like a shield. If you click on that shield, it kind of opens up this little drop down, and there's a settings wheel on the right hand upper corner that'll take you to that's how mine works.
Okay.
Take you to the audio and video and everything. So maybe that'll help you.
Yeah, Dennis, I'll try and post the how you do it on the technical side later. But okay, we'll try and go with KC then for this push towards the upside. This one guy, right?
Okay. Yeah. This guy broke through, made a higher high, small pullback.
Release.
This guy pushed up, made a higher high.
Okay. So he came back down.
Yeah, came back down, kind of bounced off of the guy who started. I mean, maybe he bounced here or he just barely took him out, but bounced here. And then he took him out for sure right there.
All right. So at this point, here you gotta ask, you gotta look at the overall view. So we resolve up from a range, right? Logically speaking, we are gonna be seeing some kind of release. So this area here is where release happened. We push up, came back to the same area again for another, still in the release zone, all right? Still trying to release. Okay, so if I put this like that, okay, where's your last attempt? Around here, right? Just around there or all this area here.
Oh, got your last attempt for a sell. Yeah, so this guy was trapped.
Yeah, so these guys are majorly trapped. Release at the higher end of the range, came back down again, tried to release again. At the same time, you have a new guy who started sort of around here.
Yeah, all these guys are trapped.
Yeah, so it's at that point where you have two things going for you. The first one is these guys, where we learned on the first few days where he got killed here. These guys got trapped because based on this last swing he's supposed to buy. That's one trap. The other thing you have going on here is this huge range that's supposed to go up, pull back, release, pull back, should release again. They are trapped. So buyers from here are trapped, buyers from all this range that tried and resolved back down. So in this case, right, our sell can be attempted around here. But in this, actually no, because we do have high volume here. But if all the high volumes are up there, then you can take the sells here, even if the guy who started is sitting right around here.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? It all comes back to where something should release. It should have released from here. You want to ask, okay, it released once, twice, still not going anywhere. High volume, still pushing back down. It should be on now, at least until the bottom end of the range.
Yeah, because if it didn't react from maybe this guy who started again and couldn't go anywhere, then definitely, yeah, he has nothing to take it up higher.
Yeah. So you piece that together with your volume. That's your extra confirmation. Because here buyers, at this point we wouldn't really know if sales are coming in. All we know is buyers are coming in, right? So buyers should continue with all that high volume, and if they don't, it should resolve back down. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So this is how we generally trade. So if we're fading a pullback, right? We see this, let's say this is on the 5 minute. This is potentially an area where we can get in and then see what it does. Because overall, we're still pretty much in this range. I'm gonna get into entries and that kind of stuff next week, but if we resolve down, then now you have another piece of release, right? All these buyers will release from there. Okay.
If we break if we break below that, then we have the release.
Yeah.
You said for the, okay.
Yeah. Yep, Laila, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm thinking, just a minute. I'm thinking when you see so much volume here at the end, let's say if you look at the big boy and you see this big volume, and this could be a spike down. So on the big boy, maybe this could look like, okay, this is just a spike, and this could belong to the seller. So you could just, as soon as you get some kind of release point or something, you just take it down.
Yes, yes. You still want to look for a release.
Yes.
So
But you could interpret it like that.
Yeah.
You just look at the big boy and see if that's a spike.
Yeah. So if this is your 5 minute and this is your, and then you're imagining the 60 minute, you see a huge rejection. And then what we do on the 5 is just to see if we sort of miss this move, then we want to see where we can release from. So it's sort of like these areas here.
Yeah. The last buyer that got killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this particular example, all this is your last buyer, right? So your release should be around here.
Yes.
So here it's not really this is not really a release zone. This is not really a release zone. Because they're all just cells coming down.
Yeah, because this is the area where everybody tries to buy from the upper side. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right, no worries. Okay, good question. Any other question on this particular trend?
Just after, I think just following our discussion here. So we said this is the release zone, right? So but we kind of like, so the price reached there and then came down. Would that mean it has got the release already?
Yep, good question.
Back again over there? Yeah.
Ideally, all right, if this is again on the 5 minute and we have a huge level that we identify on the 60, once you get a kill on the 5, you can actually just sell the release from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this is the 5 minute.
Oh, if this is the 5 minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
If all of this is 5, yeah.
Yeah. But also in this case, if we are looking at this 1 hour, we see this kind of setup. So the price came down once already from that zone. When it came back to the same area, do we still sell? Let's assume everything else pointing us to the sell. Do we still do that, or we say it released once already? Maybe this time it's not going to react so much.
Okay, so if this is just like that and we're coming into the market right around here, all right?
Yeah.
You don't really want to sell this mainly because this is the type of situations where you know there could be a reaction, but you wouldn't know how far it can go. Because overall, right? Overall, we're still pretty much in an uptrend and then still in a range. So we're not sure what's happening right now.
Okay.
And I wouldn't really trust when we come back to it again.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. If this is the 60 minute, but if we're trading this, I would be more inclined to look for this. Just based on the most recent trend where overall we're still going up. Overall, it seems like we're still intact.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. It's a good one. All right. No more question for that one. Let's go on to Cat Yen. Jay, you were asking earlier.
Yeah. So it looks like price is either channeling or it's like transitioning to a range.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the volume, it looks like it all transferred to the buy side, but it would be in the middle of the range. So I don't know whether the buy would be valid or not based on we're in the middle of the range.
All right. So how do we look at this? So from the top, okay, before that piece, from this to this, then try and see what you see about the overall volume.
So if I take it from the buy side, we have volume at the bottom and the top. And then when these sellers take them out, it transfers to the sell side. So for the sells, they just keep hitting it with high volume. And then they come in with high volume right at the end. They get trapped, come in with more high volume. They get trapped and it all transfers to the buys.
Yeah. Yep. You can look at it that way. All right. You can assume that this is your last guy. All right. From this piece towards the bottom, where's your high volume? You have high volume at the top. And then here, and then a little bit at the bottom, right? And then here is where buyers starting to resolve towards the upside. If this is your last guy, you try to release once, twice, even 3 times here, probably resolve back up.
Okay.
So just based on that point of view, I'm not sure exactly where it could release from because this bar is very small. So it's this zone where you're expecting price to continue going up. However, I'm just a tad worried about this uptrend because all this high volume, it's pretty much at the end of this huge uptrend now.
Because the sellers were actively hitting it every step of the way. Would you say there's still like seller's pressure?
Yeah, there is seller's pressure coming in because it's from the top here. But at the same time, we still have buyer's pressure coming in here and here. So
yeah, because the volume for the buys looks really attractive and it's in the middle of the range. So there's some I think I would take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either because we can argue both ways, right? That the sells can be coming in hard or the buyers still want to resume. Now, the next thing you might want to ask is where exactly can price release from? So we have this zone here, right? Last attempts here. Ideally, you wouldn't really want to see another huge pullback because like you said before, if this is another guy, right? If we come back down, then we have a trap form.
That's true.
So if it wants to go, it should try and go from here. But again, doesn't look like strong enough for a pullback on the 5 to get in.
Yeah. So given like all the risk behind the trade. If I was to take this, would the take profit just be at this recent high or this one?
In this case, in ordinary scenario, it should go to recent highs. Yeah, we're going to talk more about that later on because that's more of a primary, secondary, and then the cheese kind of setup. Right, but the overall idea is when we take a trade, we want to aim for the recent highs. If we cannot aim for the recent high or recent low, then we have to get out at the next potential release zone. So what I mean here is, say for whatever reason, we're trying to do a buy from this kind of release, right? When we do a buy like that, the next area above us could release because it is actually, it's not just an SNR, right? We clearly see buyers coming in, they attempt and fail. So for whatever reason, if we do a buy, this would be our exit.
Yeah.
And in cases like this, when we resolve up, pull back, there's no real trap we have on the 60 anymore. I can understand that on the 5, maybe we have a small trap here. But if the 60-minute flow is coming back in, it shouldn't stop too much. That's why in this section of this trend, so-called trend, if the buy were to work, it should travel to the recent highs.
So we wouldn't be afraid of the seller's volume?
No, not really. You might see some reaction, but because the whole thing is he sold from there, all you want to do is not buy this piece, right? The second thing is when we resolve down, all you need to know is this guy is strong, so he should release hard. But we know overall in an uptrend, it's going to be difficult for him as well. So let them fight it out. Around here, it should release down, right? Based on this and sells territory. But if he gets killed again, then you want to ask, okay, so if my sells are so strong, they should release, and they don't release, instead they got killed, and we have another trap form, you should try go back up.
Got it. Thank you, man.
Cool. No worries. We're gonna get into this next week. It's more of primary, secondary thing. If you guys have the ITP, try and have a look at that part of the lesson. Refreshes, I think, is what it's called. Okay, any questions for this one? No?
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Let's say that you say that the buyer should launch from here. I'm saying, okay, can't we wait for the seller to just come down to here slowly and then take it from here up? It could be his last try.
Yeah. Now, let's have a look at this. First of all, I wouldn't recommend trading this. Okay, just getting that out of the way. But just for pure education, we have sells here, right? Sells here.
Yeah.
And then he got killed here, right?
Yes.
So in this case, now I'm a little bit skeptical because he could be my last guy, this 60-minute buyer. If he does come back down to a deeper price, then you gotta ask,
why
is he coming back down? Because he should, based on this sell from before, he should have released hard towards the downside.
And you're seeing this week that it tried to release hard and nothing happened then here also. So
Yeah.
he's given up in this place.
Yeah. So if he truly tried and has given up in this place, they should release, right? Should come back strong. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, if this is still the last guy, if he comes back down, 60-minute guy who started got killed, are we coming back into a sell? So that's where things get a little bit confusing.
Yeah, when this could be like two-sided, because I'm seeing here that we are making higher lows, and then it could come down, maybe range or something. So here, when you say if it doesn't release, I'm gonna just let it go, because you see the buyer side also. You see both sides here trying to take it up or down.
Yeah. The easiest way to maybe trade this is if this buyer piece looks a little bit stronger. So on the 5-minute, we are able to gauge a steady pullback and then get in like that.
From a release point there also. Yeah, okay.
Because here it looks too small. Without going to the 5-minute, it's going to be extremely difficult to see where buys could come in.
And then you see this volume here also. So this is the volume. So it should launch from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the concept about, I always want a better price to do for my buy. So this better price, it's not ideal. We do not want a better price anymore because it should have went from there.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. 5-minute break?
Yes, thanks.
All right.
Okay.
All right, is everyone back?
Yes, I'm back.
All right.
Oh yeah, Lucas, I have a question regarding the replay.
Yeah.
It seems that I cannot, open any of the replays.
What do you mean? You cannot click this? Do you have the option?
I mean, no, the videos replays from day one.
You cannot click the replay. What do you mean?
Okay, hold on, let me.
You see the video, right? On the.
No, I don't see the video.
Oh, you should be able to see it. It's here. Here.
Yeah.
Do you see this part?
I see that part, but when I click at it, I don't see any video now.
You don't see the recording?
No, I don't see that one. I see the recording, but it's not a video. It's just like a error message.
Oh, okay. Have you tried using a different browser?
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe try using a different browser. If it doesn't work, just drop me an email.
Okay.
For me, to get into the videos, I go into posts, and then it shows up in the posts, not in the categories. So if I just go into ordinary posts, it also lists there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Anyone else have this problem? No? Yeah. Satyavan, maybe after changing browser or changing device, if it's still can't see it, and just drop me an email.
Okay.
All right. Let's have a look at this one. Right, overall uptrend, right? Overall, we see a lot of volume all in this vicinity. Okay. Ross, try and read what happens on the technical side point of view and volume point of view after we resolve up here.
It's type right up. So come out of the range, we've gone high and then come back to the release point and have risen up and come along, and then we've beyond that we've got a probe short, so we're still not below that. So I would have said that we're still in the buyer's territory, buyer's territory above. So our guy started is there, and so we're still in buyer's territory. And then now I haven't talked about volume at all, and so we've on the first push up, we got high volume, and then we've got volume at the top. So just there's two candles to the right of the first first session has gone up. So here, so that's we've got volume at here and here. Then we've got the next high one at the bottom and then at the top. So we've got in a similar sort of area. Then in this area here, we've dropped down, and so that would be at the high point of that the candle. And then we've got in that area there, we've got
High volume again.
and low. So we've got lots of things going on, and that there was being probed. So I don't see that changing from being buyer's territory, and
Okay.
then it
Resolves up.
and resolves up. Yeah.
Yep. There are a few ways to look at this. Right now, I'm just showing a few of the trades I took last year. So when I was looking at this, we can either look at this like that. One way is to say that range, right? And then Ross, you were saying should release, right? That's absolutely right. Should release. Still in buyer's zone. Should release. Fail, right? Just based on this setup alone, where it just previously on the first example we were looking at in a range where we have setups like this ideally should push down. So in my mind, when this red candle came in, taking out this guy who started, I was partially thinking, I think this is actually a real breach and we have temporarily turned into sales territory. And then he got killed. The whole reason why that's important is because if I call this a guy who started the sell, when we pierce and breach through towards the upside, at least I know this area could release.
Come back and bounce from potentially from that point.
Yeah. But if we stick to what you were saying, based on the fact that this is just a probe, not really a kill of the guy who started, we still more or less have the same thing. We still sort of have a decent, okay, now this range doesn't really look that huge, but what we do have is high volume here, high volume here. And of course, high volume from here and from here. That all got pushed towards the upside. So either way, we have people trying to sell from before in this sort of a range. Not the best range, I have to say, but we do know there could be a reaction based on this release zone.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. For a probe, just duration of probe. I mean, we're on a 1 hour chart. At what point do we sort of go from probe to a breach?
I would say in this case, you can actually say it's just a probe. You wouldn't be wrong to call it just a probe because it hasn't really. It's just one candle. The best case scenario would be at least 2 to 3 candles below, and then at least you have some space.
But that with the volume might sway it towards possibly then look at that as a breach. Is that correct?
No, I wouldn't put volume into the equation like that because you might be also be thinking if there's volume here, maybe that volume belongs to buyers. Yeah. So in this case, if you call it a probe, it's fine as well.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So either however we want to call it, we know there's sort of like a release area here. Okay. Most importantly, we have a lot of volume behind us if we want to do the buy.
Right.
All right. So Ross, from this new push towards the upside, how does the overall volume look?
So we've got so I'm just trying to find. I'll draw there. Right, so we've got volume down. Oops, yeah. That's
Yep.
us. Then we've got
No volume.
no
Right.
volume, and then we've got volume on the top there.
Yep.
So yeah, which would suggest that it may not go far. It may range and go sideways rather than continue on.
Yep. So it's not the healthiest uptrend, right? It's not really in danger per se, but it's not healthy also. Okay. So that's generally what you want to do. And then once you have that kind of information, the next thing you would do is to mark out where ideally price should release from. So around this zone here. Okay. This is where we form our 60-minute level. Once we have a level, we identify how the push is. In this case, it's neither good or bad. It's just overall average, but we do have a level. So what we want to do next is drop down to the 5. Okay. Now,
Right.
in for this one, before even fading the pullback, here's another thing we want to check. The thing we want to check is Satyawan.
Yeah.
Satyawan, when we go for the buys up towards the upside, where did the trend change? So read each piece along the way.
Okay. So
Let's Satyawan try for this one.
so this one is the first time started,
Yep.
and this one another one.
Yep.
Okay. So here it's another volume here, but it's not looking so good for the buyers anymore.
Mm.
Here it's also another volume.
Mm. So has the trend changed yet?
Not yet.
Okay, still within this guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And so there's no volume here. And the next one, the next volume.
hold on.
Okay.
This is the new guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even here, maybe this could be a new guy, right?
Okay.
All right. So here, we turn sellers, right?
Right.
Okay, so when we turn sellers here, where is your trap and where is your release?
Return sellers. This one is the where the seller start, right?
Yep.
And this one kills it.
No. This sell, when he went down,
Okay.
did he kill this guy?
Oh yeah, this one. Kill this guy.
Yeah. So when he killed that guy, where should the release happen from?
Should be around here.
Yeah, should be around there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So in this case, markets were dead. This is 10 p.m. London time. Nothing really happened. We resolved back up. Right? So we resolved back up, now killing this guy.
Right.
Right? So new guy. Okay, now where should the buy release happen?
Release when. Okay, this one is the new guy.
Where?
Hold on, let me think.
Okay. So here, guy who started the sell,
Okay.
right? He pushed down, still trying to go, and then he got killed,
Yes.
right? If you call this guy or new guy or here, it's fine. Both could be. But the point is when he got killed, where,
Not here.
yeah, should be around there, right? Yeah. So we try, and then this entire thing starts turning around. Right? Then now we're coming back to our 60-minute release zone. This is the green line that I drew just now on the 60.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. The whole reason why this piece is important is because when we look for our buy, we want to know where the above market, where something could come in to try and do the sell. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat that? I'm still a little bit confused.
Sure. It's getting a bit loud here. It's raining really hard. Hold on. I was saying the whole reason why I'm asking about this piece going up, this piece, to see where the pullback starts. The reason why I'm saying that is because I want to know when we actually do try to go for a release, where price can stop or hold or give us trouble. This area is going to stop and give us trouble. Why? Because if this is the guy who started, he goes up, pulls back, right? Attempt. Come back, small little attempt, very, very small, not too huge of a deal, but he got killed afterwards. So in this case, this buyer that got killed here, where would the release be if price were to pull back?
Somewhere around here.
Yeah, here, right? Right, their last attempts were here. Last attempts were here, yeah. So this zone becomes important to me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go back to the 60. Okay, now green line is where the 60-minute level is. One could actually argue that on the 60-minute, the trend sort of changed temporarily here, right? If this is one guy that actually held above and then breached down. That's why that area up there on the 5-minute is going to be important for us to look for potential exit. This zone here. Everyone following along so far? All right. Now, Setiawan, now we're looking at the pullback coming down and see when does the pullback die based on looking at the technical analysis, guy who started traps, releases, as well as looking at the volume. Okay. So start your read from the sell side from the top here. Or yeah, even here is fine. How does the overall volume looks?
So here the seller is pretty strong.
Okay.
And here is another strong volume for the sellers.
Okay, it's actually right around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And another high volume around here. And the seller is getting weaker.
Okay, no, this one here as well. This piece right here.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then higher volume towards the bottom also.
Mm.
So right now, just based on the overall volume analysis, the downtrend, most volume seems to be at the bottom, right?
Yes.
Highest one, at least the highest one. Okay, now you have your volume analysis. The next piece you want to do is, where's your guy who started from the top towards the bottom, each step along the way.
So the guy start from here
Yep.
and tries again from here.
Maybe because it doesn't really look like recent low. So maybe it's still the same guy.
Okay. And needs to kill the guy. This one is another try, right?
Yep, that's clearly another push. Okay.
This one is to kill here.
Yeah, this one, no need to go up here.
Okay.
All it needs to do is take out this guy.
Take out this one.
If it goes up like that, takes this guy out. Remember, we are coming from a 60-minute release zone. All right.
Okay.
Once we take that guy out, just look for a release to buy. This buy, we want to look for exits around here for now. In the future, we're gonna learn other type of trade, but for now, this is just what we call one level, 60-minute level to another level. Right? But yeah, forget about all of those stuff. For now, this is your last guy. You want to do the same thing we have learned so far, which is get a kill of that guy and then look for a trap, look for a release. That's that. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay. So far, nothing yet, right? No entry yet.
Yeah.
All we know is volume is steadily increasing towards the bottom. Okay. Still no kill. I'll put it at swing highs. Look at the volume. The volume is starting to increase. Right?
Yeah.
So it's at this stage where we sort of got a kill. Right here. This is how I'm looking at it generally on the 5. Where is all the volumes? Do we have volume behind us? So far, volume is right here. This bar. Yeah, so far volume is right here. This bar. We have a little bit of volume here as well. So now we are sort of in a money spot volume kind of situation because we have volume from the bottom. We have volume ahead of us. The one ahead of us is way higher. So in this case, although we got a kill, we do not really want to do a buy. Does that make sense? Yeah, even though this cell got killed, we know the last attempts were either here or here. We do not want to buy this because volume is right here.
Okay.
Right, following along? Okay, so let's move on to see what happens after that. Okay, so now we sort of have a new push towards the downside. All that came from here, right? Volume still steadily increasing. In fact, got higher. Now here I'm going to skip a little bit more. Okay, still pushing down. All right, at this point, what you have here is on the 5, sort of like a range forming, right? Now, keep looking at the volume because right now the highest volume is at the bottom. This peak high volume here is at the bottom and it's much higher than the one before. Still within the 60-minute release zone. All right, it's not way too lower. It's still around that same vicinity. Okay, again, using what we have learned so far about traps and releases, this sort of look like a range that would be a 24-hour kind of range on the 60-minute, right? It's kind of the amount of data we have here. So it's sort of big enough. So when we actually resolve towards the upside, like that, okay, this high end of the range, change the color up a little bit here, would be an area where you want to look for a retest to resume the buy. Now, your question, the first problem that you would have would be areas like this, which would give you some type of reaction like this one, and then this one. The reason why we are, how do I put this? The reason why we're not too afraid of this area here is because if we do get a retest and buy it from here, the first thing is we have higher volume at the bottom. Second thing is if it does travel, we have space. So once it reached that zone, right, at least we can put our stops tighter, move our stops to break even, that kind of stuff. But because if we buy here, which just came back from the high volume area, we're not sure if it's gonna just slam back down. Right. Anyone have any confusion so far?
I got a question. For this kind of setup, do we really need to, when the price comes to here, to that zone, right? So do we need to wait for this to go up and then come back, or we can take the first attempt over here in that time?
Yeah.
Because now we have all of this behind us.
Yep. It's a good question. Generally speaking, you can. Let me just clear out all this mess. Generally, you can. The thing about here is I'm not sure if this is a break. I'm not sure if this is a break. Not sure. Okay, now I have a break. So then I just want to wait for a little retest. But if we do close up strong, then you can.
Okay.
Yeah, just join like that.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Does the strength of that retest matter?
No, not really.
Okay.
If the release zone is well read with volume, it should hold price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after that, what we had was a very slow pullback back to the same area. I tried to hit the buys around this red bar after seeing the green bar coming up. But stops really have to be below the turning point, because at this stage, what I'm actually trying to do is turn this downtrend. So I'm assuming that this is the lowest it can go. And if this truly is a range with volume, price shouldn't go below that area, because we should see a release from that zone towards the upside. If they are truly trapped, they should really get out at break even and push price up. With the volume, with the higher time frame, 60-minute release zone. You see what I'm doing here? I'm using the 60-minute release zone, this level here, which is also a trap. Add that with another trap on the 5. Again, using volume as well. Yeah. So our buys can be executed around those zones. Stops below, around this zone would be sufficient. And then trying to take it up. First port of call would be around here, looking to see what could happen, and then trying to take it up towards areas like this. Now, we do not really want to take it up all the way towards the recent high, because we have a trap that is visible on the 60-minute. So this is a typical one level to another level. Any questions? Yeah, I see a lot of questions. Satyavan, does that make sense? What we're looking for on the 5?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're all doing the same thing on the 60-minute, and then repeating the steps on the 5. Okay. Yeah, Casey, go ahead.
Maybe I'm jumping ahead, but so let's say where you entered, do we monitor those areas that you marked out the first one, and then the second one as it's going up, as your trade's performing? What time frame are we monitoring this on?
Just this time frame.
Okay, so you can stay on your precision to watch it.
Yeah.
I know in the past when I've stayed on my lower time frames, it's messed with me, but my read wasn't as good as it is getting now.
You should be fine because this is not like this is just our trading time frame. That's it. It's not like we're going down to the 1 minute to monitor.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a few elements here as well. One important thing is about space. Do we have space from where trouble could come in? This is where trouble could come in, right? This high volume bar. And where's the next one? Around here. So we do not take this kill and retest for a buy because we are right next to the high volume area. Here, we have two things for us. The first thing is we are very far from the high volume area for now. Second thing is we have built even higher volume than these guys here and these guys. Yeah. All right, Ella, question?
Yeah, you talked about the stop loss. You said this would be enough, but I'm thinking, okay, this is the guy who started it, and this is the try from the seller, and this is the try from the seller. Would it be enough to put it there under this?
Yeah.
The stop loss. Why go lower?
I'm just like that, but you can do it like that. It's fine. Here, no, but here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Would we continue to monitor the volume on the way up or no?
Yeah, you would, especially around this price here. You really.
And I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good. And I know Naveen talks about MAP price. Would that distance from here to here be the MAP?
No, this is just a little bit over a little bit lesser than 1 hour, I think, because there's spreads, right? So, and when I get in the spreads, when I get out, there's spread as well. So for me, if I got out around this zone here, it's just 5, 0.5. Yeah.
All right.
But your main target on this trade would be here.
Yeah.
Here you want to do something, maybe move your stops in, stuff like that. Because again, we're trying to change the downtrend to an uptrend. It shouldn't, from here, if this is your new swing low kind of thing, it shouldn't come back like that. Then, the trend isn't really transitioning anymore. So when we get in around here, when you reach towards that kind of area, at least move stops, towards zones like that. But we're going to get into more of that. Make sense, Jay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for this one? Good. Okay. All right, so because it's Friday, let's go for one more example. This one looks okay. All right, this one. So we're on the 60-minute, and our job here basically is to identify a level for us to trade, right? So Casey, in this scenario, from here, what can you say about this piece to this piece?
All right. So overall, we have from here, we have a push down, kind of holds. And then we call this the guy who started, pushes down. And then where's the volume at? I think is it in this area is the volume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's actually up here. That's the volume. So still fairly healthy because we're at the top of the trend. So pushing down, pull back, attempted, nothing. And finally break through here. Guy who started. There's not much volume at this point. It's still all towards the top, which says the trend is still fairly healthy. In this last push down, it did have some high volume, but not as high as that. So that volume would start here. So I think overall we're still looking good. And then we attempt to go lower, couldn't do anything, attempt to go lower, and then we get taken out. Is that where you want me to stop? And we get taken out with volume at the bottom.
All right. So at this stage, initially the downtrend looks decent, and then everything got killed when this push happened. All right. So the whole reason for knowing this piece is to know I actually have buyers coming in. That's why we start the read sort of from the left here. Okay. So we actually do have buyers stepping in from here. All right. And then sort of made another push towards the upside here. All right. So this is typically a refresh coming in, that kind of thing. Because if we are assuming that it was a downtrend from before, right now we have buyers, new buyers coming in, killing this guy, push towards the upside, came back down, back to the same buyer's area. All right. Now, Casey, when we have this buyer kill, we do not really have volume on this end. Does that matter?
So when we kill him, we do not have volume on the push down.
Yeah.
I would say no, it doesn't matter because of this. And this is all in this area. And when we took him out, it transferred.
Yep. When we took him out, it all transferred, right? So that's really important. When we took these guys out, we know there's volume. That's one thing. The other thing we also know is this is a guy who started. These are actual tries from the buyers as well, just based on volume. Right, so no problem when we get this kill when there's no volume. It's fine.
I have a quick question, and then this would be a good release point, but we have back to over on this side, we have these sell attempts, which got taken out, which would make another release point technically, correct?
Yes.
And then, so if we were to attempt to sell here, our level would be here in this area, I guess, to consider getting out, or am I jumping ahead?
It's a good question. Now, first of all, everyone understand that this could be a release because buyers are trapped. they want to release. Everyone clear on that part, right?
Yes.
Yep. So this sell got killed. A release could have been the C price, which would have been here or here. Otherwise, it could try and react here, right? Okay. So this is the part where understanding the overall flow is important. Understanding the overall flow and understanding a little bit about refreshes, which we are going to get into. This is a valid trap and release, like what we have learned so far. So this is not unexpected, right? It should bounce. How far it bounces, we don't really know. But this piece is like it's pure counter trend. If you guys get what I mean, this is trying to resume the downtrend. This is sort of like a piece along the way where profit removal happens before the next leg comes down.
Gotcha. Because judging by your MAs over here on the left, it is a bigger downtrend where we're trying to resume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are a few types of counter trend, types where we are in an overall uptrend, 60-minute, say this is 60-minute. This is a counter trend where it could be questionable and risky. These are also counter trend, right? Overall downtrend, we have already resumed, we have already transitioned sort of going up, back down. This is where we do not really want to step in front of a push down because he could just go up a little bit and then crash to resume everything. Right? So all we know is there's going to be a reaction based on the fact that this could release.
Can I ask one more question on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being that trap and release, we may have already talked about this. I'm just not remembering if it's already used that release coming back up to this trap and release. Would we worry about this one again because it's been used once? If we were to take a sell that, I guess maybe we've talked about that. I just can't remember if since we've already used it once, all these guys have cashed out. Maybe it's not as powerful anymore.
Yeah. So that's where it's important as well. When it comes back down, let's talk about the buy first. If we do buy it here, it's fine because it's the first time we are coming back to the area for release, for them to get out. So when we come back down again, we do not want to try to test the buy again because it has release. So based on the same kind of logic, if they truly want to release and if they fade out and slow down and die out here, then there's a higher chance, that this thing wants to resume and this release price doesn't really have that much power anymore.
Okay, perfect.
But you would want to watch that area just to see. Okay, so now we have established that this is a release. So let's have a look at our 5. This zone, right? Okay. Now, Ross, as we came down from the top towards the bottom, where does the trend change on the 5-minute?
So starting from.
So from here?
From here, yep. We're dropping down, come across, and then dropping, and then we reach down again. I'm going, keep on going, I'm going.
Another guy here?
Yeah, that's there. and that's don't think I'd go any further. Then we've got then we're rising up, so you can't see where I'm rising up, and he gets killed. So it's killed there, and so we're going to, the last seller tabs is at this point.
Yep.
Then, oh, sorry, and I'm not looking at volume. So at the bottom, so we've got a fair old volume, and it's down, so it's in that area there. We've got volume behind us.
Yeah.
So we've broken up and looking for that to come back. We've got a minor pull back and
Release.
and then release
Yep. So
to the release point and keep on going.
yep. So the same thing. The reason why we're looking at where the trend changes as it
Oh,
was
sorry, yep.
as it was going down is because if we do take the sell, we just want to know where price can stop if they want to release again at the same area.
Right.
Right. That's why we mark that area out. Okay, and then we have high volume as well.
Right.
So just keep an eye on this buy here, all right, because it is a valid trap and a release with volume at some sort of a 60-minute level, right? It is something like that. So just keep in mind of this area here versus the next one we have. So all right, Laila, from the bottom towards the top, as we come back towards the red line is our release zone on the 60-minute, right? This huge area.
Mm.
What can you tell me about this uptrend?
It started with the volume here. And this is where this is where it began up. This wouldn't be a problem because there isn't any volume, so it should be able to go up. It fights a little bit. It goes up to this, where we have a little bit of volume, but this is at the bottom, it's more volume. So when this is where a little bit of fight from the seller, and it pushes up to that red line where we have the release.
Mm-hmm. And still,
and still. The volume picks up a little bit here, and this is where the seller should kick down. So you would stop here.
Yeah. So ideally, we are at the zone. We would want to see some kind of release happening there. So, and ideally speaking, we want to see more higher volume, a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Okay. So same thing on the way up. Where's your last guy who started?
I'm seeing this level. The last guy that started it would be this one.
Mm.
And I'm gonna wait for it to be killed.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. So it could either be this or maybe even this. The reason why I have two is because it's difficult to convince myself that this could be a last guy and just sell after he got killed, because there's not enough volume to convince me that the sells are back on.
Mm.
All right, so let's try and step ahead. Okay, now higher volume.
Now higher volume, that would be there.
Yeah. So where's the new guy?
The new guy is this one.
Yeah, probably around that
After
kind of
killing.
zone. Yeah.
After killing, yes, after killing. So now it's up. Now I have this high volume and I'm seeing this level also. So if it can, I would wait it to come down to here and push up.
Okay.
But
So
I'm seeing that we have high volume here and a lot of high volume here. Also said this could be that it could come down.
yeah, could be the uptrend could be in danger, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So for us to do the sell, we need two things: guy who started being taken out and volume behind us.
Yes.
Right. So right now the volume is sitting right around this last bar and here, which is this red bar. So if I zoom in a little bit, just try and mark out the zone. That's what I usually do. That kind of area. All right. So then we move along. Okay. Now we sort of got a kill, but here things get a little bit messy because we're on the 5. We are at our 60-minute release zone. Volume is on this bar, and also this red candle bar here. Right? So technically speaking, we have everything we need based on volume behind us, which is here and here.
Yeah.
The only question that we might be doubting ourselves is this actually a kill, actually a kill or a probe? So that's the only doubt you would have right now. But so far, it looks very good for the sell to resume. Okay. So to see if it's a kill or not a kill, just wait and see what the buyer do. So the buyer, if the buyers are actually there, they should try and resume because it's a range. They should try and continue pushing up. But so far, right now, the one piece of information we have is we are at our 60-minute release zone, and the highest volume is currently on the 5 behind us. Yeah. So it's around points like this, where you can convincingly say, I don't think he's around anymore. Then that's where you can just hit the sells.
You should see a couple of tries from the buyer.
Yeah. Generally, I will see a couple of try if I'm not sure he's taken out or not. So if I change up the scenario a little bit, if we have this kind of situation where he clearly gets killed, then where would your release be?
If this guy gets killed, the release should be here.
Yeah. Then you will just wait for price to come back and then just hit the sells there. Right?
Yes.
So in this case, it didn't crash down hard enough. So we just wait a few more candles to see, what happens.
Okay.
So that's how usually we take the sell. So see, in this case, we actually retest the release zone and didn't really go higher. So already around this point, you can sort of convince yourself to say, I think he's killed. I don't think buyers are around, just based on the fact that volume is behind us and we are at our 60-minute release zone. Okay, so the sells travel from there.
Okay.
So this piece, generally speaking, we'll just go for the recent low. The reason for that is because we're going to get into this again. The reason for that is because we are overall in a downtrend. We have refreshed, inviting buyers, and then joining back the sells. So like Casey was asking just now, should we really be worried about this same area? It might give us some reaction like this here. On the 5, it would be a little bit big. See here. but it should try and resume towards the downside. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out is here, this is also a trap and a release. This is also a trap and a release. But this piece has higher potential of traveling further and smoother as compared to this piece, because this one, we are hugely going counter trend.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense for everyone? Remember what I said a couple of days ago, saying that using a trap and a release and volume itself can already be a strategy or a system on its own. So we're just using the story to know which trap and release has more power to travel. So like the previous example, we are doing the same thing. We identify the 60-minute release zone, then do the same thing, not studying, but analyzing the 5-minute pullback towards that area, have the 5-minute, have volume behind on the 5, make a trap on the 5, and then sell the release on the 5 at your 60-minute release. So it's like a double confirmation kind of thing. Yep, Casey. Laila, does that make sense? Any questions for this one? Okay.
Yeah, one thing I guess I noticed was where you took the sell that was from a 60-minute release and a 5-minute release, and then we're taking it down to a level that we identified just solely on a 5-minute with a downtrend on the precision rolled over. So kind of like it seems like we have a lot more power up top, because this is potentially a 60 release headed down to the 5-minute trap release. So that makes sense. Like, is that kind of what we're looking for? Is that why we have the confidence also to take it to that area?
Yeah. I'm not. Can you rephrase your question? I'm not too sure what you mean.
Yeah. Let's see here. Just something I kind of noticed was if we do attempt this sell, we're potentially at a larger 60-minute release zone.
Yeah.
I'm just scribbling now. And then we go down when we do see where this smaller downtrend dies.
Yeah.
This is potentially just a 5-minute release zone. So we have kind of a 60 power up here going down to this smaller 5. That's just something I kind of noticed that would give us more confidence to say, okay, this has an easier time riding down to here.
Yeah. And then when it reaches this zone, it will bounce, but it should get through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for now, we're not trying to get through zones just yet.
Yeah, but you would have a fair understanding if you have a fair understanding of refreshes, this piece here should resume towards the downside.
Those would be folders.
Yeah. As opposed to what we had earlier. Okay, now look, this pullback here, it all belongs to this sell, right? This guy who started the sell. So just one piece of pullback to crash. As opposed to what we had on Swiss yen, the example we were looking at just now. This is a little bit different because on the way up, we actually sort of created some kind of, we wouldn't trade this sell, okay, because we are in an overall uptrend and this guy who started just looks too small. But we do see it on the 60-minute where it is sort of like guy who started attempt, kill. So here, although we're in an uptrend, we do not really want to just take it up towards recent high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This piece has a lot to do with primary, secondary, and then cheese, refresh kind of thing. But the quick hack would be just get out at the next level. If the next level have a trap on the 60, you just get out there. Otherwise, like pound Aussie, when we pull back, there's no real trap here on the 60-minute. So try and see if you can hold it on towards the recent low. So that's the small difference. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
All right. All right. Anyone have any other question? No? Yeah. I guess for the weekend, try and look at some of you guys' old trades, and see if the strategy we're using this week actually fits into what you guys were trading before, or see if there's anything you can fix with your old trading. Yeah, or just see what went wrong with the previous trades you guys have taken before. Yeah. All right, it's Friday and I don't want to keep anyone around here too long. If you guys have no more. Yep, have a good weekend. See you guys on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.